has no meaning, it has no purpose of existing. And she's working wood with that dangling bits on, and I'm like, 《迦南传》, previously named 木南枝, is a 40-episode period drama that has aired in China recently. It is led by Zeng Shunxi and Ju Jingyi. This is a period time setting romantic story based on an existing novel. Although apart from the names of the characters, the drama adaptation bears no resemblance, literally 0%, with its original text. It is yet another period drama in which the female lead actress Ju Jingyi is styled to look exactly like what she looked like in her previous couple of dramas. Ever since she found the secret of how to make herself look the best with a particular type of makeup. The drama has aired into its 10 number episodes, and I have the unfortunate experience of watching 8 episodes of it. If the drama did turn out to be a masterpiece of storytelling after episode 8, well, it's my misfortune. I'll rate it in between one landmine and landmine/gold mine. So it's actually not the worst romantic period setting drama I've seen this year. In comparison, this one actually has a couple of things that it did pretty well. So let's just start from praising it in those aspects, and then we can get on the real business. First, neither the male nor the female lead's appearance is offensive for audiences with reasonable expectations of a professionally produced period drama. Second, its production quality in comparison to other dramas in the same category is actually not bad. The costume, the props, the sets, the lighting, although it's by no means inventive or creative or worth praising, at least it sits within the reasonable range of standards that we expect from a 21st century period drama production from China. It doesn't have super unreasonable, low contrast, weird lighting, absolutely offensive filter in color. All in all, it appears to be a production that did cost a bit money. That's it. Everything I can think of that is on the positive end of this production. Now let's get into the not so comfortable to talk about part of the negative side of this production, and I would warn people who are a fan of any of the specific people that shows up in this drama, in case you're gonna get offended, leave now. I don't actually have that much to rant about particular actors and actresses, although I do have a few points. I think the biggest problem of this production is it just should not exist, because the story has no value, it has no meaning, it has no purpose of existing. If you're a comedy, you're trying to make people laugh. If you're a horror movie, you're trying to scare a couple of people. Whatever your purpose is, there has to be a tiny little bit reason for anything to exist, because it costs money and hundreds of people's work for months to get it made. I don't understand why this story needs to be made. And maybe making yet another drama like this that we've had in counts of hundreds in Chinese dramaland is just another thing that they do to... yeah. Whatever I can think of for the purpose of making this drama, there's one thing that they're not trying to do. They're not trying to tell you a story. It gives you the illusion that it has a setup of a country, of particular characters, of particular social status, of particular motives and what they want. But once the story starts and you watch why they do things they do and what they say, and it does not make sense. For example, you have a setup of a country where our female lead character is a princess, and she's said to be a person who grew up within the court because the grandmother really liked her. And then you have many scenes that happens within the court where whatever time it is, whether it's daytime or nighttime, an unmarried princess is in her own room and a guard, which is our male lead, can just pop in, knocking on her window, knocking on her door, pay her a visit. You are not a eunuch and you're not serving the inner court, you're literally a guard. You have your male parts, and in any type of Chinese traditional court, that's just unthinkable, but does not matter. I guess it's fictional. So this guy can just walk up to a princess's bedroom at night and have a conversation with her. Okay, cool. This type of story, it just doesn't care. It tells you we are set in this type of environment, and then everything and every character does not fit. I can only blame the scriptwriter of not caring about the story and probably not good enough to write any logical story. And the even funnier thing is this story is trying to do romantic love story at the same time attempting court politics and conspiracies, that classic Nivarna and fire thing. But oh my god, the level of like how it gets done is so laughable. It makes Zhou Shengrugu's court politics look like great stuff. That's how you can gauge how well it's written. I looked at who is scriptwriter, and Xu Fangfang, very interesting, same surname as the female lead actress, and it's not a common surname in China, okay? There has been rumors on China's internet about who this person is in terms of being a relative of the female lead actress, but it's not confirmed, so I don't know. It's so targeted to the fandom of particular actor or actresses. From a storytelling point of view, neither the characters nor the plot nor any elements of a written and then performed story in this drama is qualified to be a story. That's the best way I can put it. So therefore, everything else does not matter. I mean, yeah, okay, certain looks of a character may look pretty, but why don't you just do a couple of makeup video of how you make up this actress to look that pretty and take a few shots and done. You don't need a story because you don't have one, and you're pretending you have a story, but you don't. Then the second thing that most of the reviewers would rant about, I've seen on China's internet, is about, yeah, again, Ju Jingyi just looks exactly the same like her previous characters in other dramas and her future dramas, and I would also style her in the same way. In her defense, I mean, Zheng Shunxi, the male lead styling, is also looking pretty much exactly like what he had in 燕归西窗月 with Liang Jie. So I guess like they just do it because they find a version that looks good on the actor and actresses, and they're like, okay, from now on, when we have a period drama, we're just gonna make you look like that because it's easy, and we've already known the process of getting you to look like that, and it's safe because we've tested it with all kinds of lighting and angles. You look good, so let's just keep using it. Does not matter if it fits the character or whatever particular setting of your drama. When Ju Jingyi shows up on screen in this drama, she looks like a different person from every other female characters who has the similar status and whatever setting as she is in the court. So when the shots cut between her and another female role, when they're having a conversation or whatever in their court, you just feel like they're in two different dramas. This is produced by Siba Chuanmei, and if you don't know what that company is, it's the 48 studio Chinese version of the, we have like a class of idols, and then every year we get a couple of that come to the top, the Japanese thing that just have a Chinese version. And Ju Jingyi is the most successful person that has ever come out of this entire system of idol selection, so I guess it's all for her. She looks good, but then it has nothing to do with her characters, and she looks good for every role she does in the recent couple of period dramas she does, and it definitely is the actress herself bigger than the role situation. And one particular thing about her styling in this drama that I just want to laugh at is all the dangling bits, the beads, and these things that's coming down from her head. I can't imagine anyone would want to wear that all the time. It's gonna tangle in your hair all the time. It's gonna hit your face when you're turning your head or running or walking even just. It's gonna get into your food when you're eating. She is a person who actually likes woodwork. She wants to be a carpenter right from the first episode, and she's kind of a genius of that, and she's working wood with that dangling bits on, and I'm like and I just suddenly had this nightmare scene in my head, which is, had she been a contemporary role who lives today and also love woodwork but wears that kind of thing on her head, goes into a contemporary electricity-filled workshop with giant saws and stuff, and then she turns on the machine, and that'll be the end of her. Her body tissue would be evenly spread on the 6 surfaces of the interior of that workshop. It is one of those things I can just imagine to a T in detail, due to that I used to be a landscape architecture student, and we did have a big lesson at workshop safety where we had to wear goggles and steel-toe shoes and go in and get educated by those guys who worked with wood for their entire life and telling us horror stories about what has happened in a couple of United States design and architecture school about students not using giant saws correctly. Had to be picked up piece by piece. So the moment like she's wearing those things and doing woodwork shot comes out, I'm like, oh, no, stop. My imagination started to play on me, and I just like cringed. It's definitely a personal thing that probably wouldn't work on other people, but now I've told you, so probably you can imagine it too. Sorry about that. Also, one thing about her acting is she has so many expressions and little gestures. It's like, doing that all the time. I'm like, come on, you're a princess. You grew up in an imperial court. Okay, you have been educated about etiquette and how to hold yourself. You're not a randomly adopted from the commoner's world daughter like Huan Zhu Ge. And her postures and how she holds herself, how she walks, how she sits, like that. It's drama. Oh my god. How am I supposed to believe in the characters you're playing? Because your makeup, your styling, your actions, your expressions, and the logic of the things you do, nothing makes sense for a character setup. I've had a good time renting, and also I've had a fun time dressing up today with this hair and with my costume. This is kind of a Tang Dynasty look, but not 100% accurate, because I do have a couple of things on me that is not really specific to Tang Dynasty. And also, I have spectacles, which is something that doesn't really exist for people to choose at that time. But I guess I'm just trying to prove it's not that hard to look reasonable in the period drama that is functional, that is fitting for your character setup, that puts the characters first rather than the actress her own image. And I think for making a drama, you're serving the story. You are serving the characters. And your idea about how to make yourself look best should come second to the work of portraying that character. I don't think there's any reasonable excuses you can have to argue with that statement. Every profession has its rules. Anyway, that should be the end of this first impression and renting video on 家南传 Rebirth for You. Oh, it's called Rebirth for You. Have you questioned about why? Because the original story, 木南之, is a rebirth story. It's about a character who died and come back to relive, and therefore they have a second god-like perspective of their life because of, I don't know, censorship or whatever. When they write this script for the drama, they totally took out the rebirth part. But then they still kept it in the English title. It just shows, you know, the makers of this drama, they do not care about this story. So if they do not care, as an audience member, I'd suggest you not care about it too. That should be the end. Thank you for watching Up New X. I'll see you in my next video. Meanwhile, live long and happy drama watching.